There it is. Is there any sounds? Sounds check. 1 2 1 2. Look like I have sound. Excellent. Okay, so now I need a mouse. We're still kind of pre-stream a little bit. And I'm having, of course, I'm having tech issue. Because this is how we like the stream. Okay, so I'm going here. Try to pair my mouse. Okay, cool. Can see it now. It's not connected. It's now connected. Yes. Cool. I have the mouse. I have some stuff. Let's go in. Voila. Let's go. DBD, hello. How are you, sir? How are you? Still pre-stream. Just trying to connect all the things. I want to refact. Was it? I think it was. Oh, I should remove my phone from my pocket. I think watching your stream the other day gave me the idea of like, you know, it's worth it. Let's make a major refact in my application. You know, we do that also to learn stuff. So, and I start messing around with minimal API, Dapr, and yesterday I just like, yeah, that will be easy, and yeah, it was not working as I was expecting. Okay, so it's Friday. It's Friday. I should have that sound. There's so much technology to play these days, indeed. But it's fun. I like that. Like, I think I would be very sad if I was working in some, like, if my job or if my whatever I do was really kind of like, yep, this is it. It didn't change forever, and you need to do this all the time. Like, I need to create and things. Hey, geek. How are you? Any idea why my Blazor app just stopped after I minimize the windows? That's interesting. No idea. Elasticsearch. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Elasticsearch. I did mess around with. Was it Elasticsearch? It was for a government project prior to join Microsoft. So it was probably not Elasticsearch. It was probably like another ancestor or something like that. But it's same idea, and it had like a huge impact. But those things are very, very, very powerful. Let me make this smaller and this a little bit bigger. Can I make this window bigger? Wrong keyboard. How can I make that bigger? It should work, right? Why it's not working? I want to make the chat text a little bit bigger. Oh, you know what? Could move it up there. Okay, so like this. Let me just type a few comments in the chat so the stream kind of start and everything. We need to do a start, and then today what it would be. Let's call it learning. It's just because now if you play the game drop, CB or CloudBot here, whoops, if I type it correctly, will track the scores. If I don't start the stream, then like I don't have CB tracking and generating the reading notes. And not the reading notes, the stream notes. Okay, so, and by the way, Guy, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream, happy to see you, first time in the chat. Welcome, this is a safe place to ask any questions you have, just like you did, it's awesome. So, and say, yeah, I wrote a file scanner, it takes, what? It takes a long time to run, but if I minimize the window, I get that trying connector error, okay. So you're doing the Blazor. That's one thing I didn't try, the Blazor Windows application. I didn't try that. And if you don't minimize, the job succeed? Let me know. I need to move my mouse from, it's straight in the middle of the chat. It's very annoying. Yeah, it will work if I leave the windows up, okay? Blazor server, by the way. So it's the browser window when you minimize the, like you're on a website, it's not Windows, it's on the, I think it was just like oh yeah, C# fits still stream. You can ask him, it will probably help you. I feel like it was just random issue, like probably sometime it fails and sometime it passes, and it just happened that when you minimize it, it failed, but I could be wrong. C# fits will be definitely one great reference to ask this kind of question, since he did so much stuff with the Blazor server. I did a lot of things with Blazor, not a lot. I did a few things with Blazor, but I'm kind of more on the WebAssembly side, just because it match better my projects. Eventually I will do something else. Okay, yeah, it's a pleasure anytime. Wish I could I could give you the the answer. Okay, you know what, yeah, let's start that stream. Do I have my button? I didn't create the button, so I will play that little intro because I like it, and after that we'll start the stream. We'll make the to-dos of the day and we'll start learning. Let's roll it. Bonjour, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm Frank Boucher, your host, and for the next about 2 hours, we'll be learning. Today it's a very learning. There's no real project. Like I want to make major refac in my refactoring in one of my projects, but I intend to use a bunch of technology that looks really awesome, but that I never really try or beta release. So I need to dig a bit more into it, and I thought it will be interesting doing that live, because if I'm learning them, then probably others are also. And yeah, so those technologies are .NET 7. Didn't play much with .NET 7. I don't think there's like a huge difference in what I will be using in .NET 7 compared to .NET 6 or another version of .NET, but we'll be using .NET 7, or I should be. I don't know if I have .NET 7 installed on this laptop. If no, we'll fall back on .NET 6, but the idea is to have .NET minimal API and the new. So I think I need. No, I think it was introduced in .NET 6. We'll see. We'll see. Like, so that's the kind of questions I need to make sure of it. So minimal API is definitely a thing I want to try. I want to then containerize that minimal API. So I did a quick test, to be honest, kind of like rushing through without fully understanding everything, and I failed. So that's why today I say, you know what, let's take our time, read the docs, understand, go step by step. So that's the plan. Want to make a minimal API, then containerize it. Still need to work. At that point on my side, I was failing already. So bad start, right? Then the idea is then push that container inside a container app. That part I did it. I think I understand how it works. So the goal would be to have multiple containers, and in an Azure Container Apps, and I think I will need some kind of, one container will be the facade, kind of a proxy to all the others. The reason why is the project reading notes that I have has tons of different services all over the places, and I thought having them all in the one app will be easier. And the reason why there's multiple right now Azure functions and different, it's because some are like, there's already one container because I'm using Pandoc. It's a tool that convert text files. I'm using one as an Azure function because it's in JavaScript. I'm wrapping an existing JavaScript service, so that's why it's in JavaScript. And I'm a .NET developer, so everything else is .NET. So I was already kind of 3 services, and I probably need a logic app. So I was like, that's a lot of component just for my reading notes and a database. So I thought, you know what, let's try to have it in one place. And I thought the container app was perfect because I could scale it to 0. The reading notes is a tool where when I found, you know, and I can share. I don't want to spend too much time on that because we won't go in there, but let's go here. So reading notes, I should just do this. So reading notes like is a project that I've been like, I did it in Ruby the first time because I wanted to learn Ruby, and after that I'd switch to having a logic app and things like that. And it's breakdown in many different things, and now like I have my version 3 and the pipeline, it's kind of running right now, so I'm fine. Like I can survive for a little while I'm having fun refactoring it. But the thing is, I read a lot, like every day, but I don't like to read on screen, so I send the article, I clean up all that so I don't see any ads or anything, just the text, and then I send that to my e-reader. I'm using Kindle, but it could be something else. And then I take a note, and I publish every Monday. I publish my reading notes. If you go on Frankie's notes, then every Monday I publish my notes, and I have like some kind of automatic process that get back the URL, put it with the title, like my notes, the author, and things like that, and like the tags that I used. So, and then I have a draft of a blog post Then I go in, fix any typo, rewrite sometime a little bit my notes, because you know, on this device it's never like, you know, kind of like I know what I want to say, but I don't want to type like a full paragraph. So I edit that. So I have also an interface for that. So I want to rewrite all of it, because right now like it's really old tech, and I'm afraid that it will stop working. So that's why I want to learn all those things. This is where I don't, what? So organized. I've been doing that. If we go back to so I publish every week. This is the number of weeks I've been doing it. So I did that for myself a long time ago. Well, not that long time ago. I don't know how old I was. I don't know, past 30, I don't know. I was not good in English, so I decided to do it in English, taking notes in English, and just like those little blob of text, just like a one-liner, were taking me like a week or something like that. And I was editing that in a wiki, but then it was a wiki on a file. And back then, like USB key was really like, we're talking like, you know, a long time ago. So it was complex. And at some point, I decided to put it online. And then people start asking me, because when people come and ask me, hey Frank, like how do you do this? And I was like, oh, let me see. I read something about it, and we're going to my blog and then searching, and people were asking, can I have the reference of that? And now like this blog has been alive for a long time. So yeah, so that's the plan of today. So let's add some to-dos, so you know, we can track that. So to-do, add, create a minimal API. There it is. And then we'll do to-do, add, container rise. Why it's not working? Oh, rise, voila. I need to type correctly. One thing I also would like to learn is my keyboard. Like my typing, I need to look up my keys after all those years. Yep. I'm like that. Oh, what? I repeat. Voila. Okay, so let's to-do, not do-to. Start one. There it is. Okay, so come on. Where I am. Okay, I have a few things working. So let's go into dev. Do I have local here? Yeah, I have local. So local. What else? Okay, so let's do a learning one. Cool. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Any plans for the weekend? Here it's finally snowing, so I guess I will be doing some cross-country ski. and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so let's do a .NET version so we know what we have. Can I do -v or I need to do --? I don't have it? Okay. So I need to do the --. I thought -v would work. Okay. So .NET new. You know what? .NET list. No? How do I have the templates? I think then .NET new list. .NET new list. I'm just not sure. I think it's just API, but I'm not sure. So I want to make sure the minimal API. ASP.NET Core, Web API. So I think it's, is it Web API? Oh, you know what? I have a web page open, but I'm going to try to get my game app published this weekend. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Although I'm going to have to figure out how to keep the cost low on having 3 SQL database and an Elasticsearch instances. You need 3 SQL server database? Well, they could be running in the same server. Oh, sorry, I'm assuming you are on Azure. Why do you need 3 database and where are you hosting them? Cloud publishing is something I want to learn more about. Okay. Your plan is Azure? Good plan. For all disclosure, I work at Microsoft, but I'm not in sales. I just love the technology. I joined Microsoft because I was like a pro .NET developer, Azure stuff. I've been doing Azure for 10 years, 11 years, I forgot. I don't want to say more than Azure exists, but I've been doing that for a long time. So 3 databases on a single instance. So 1 server, 3 database. Why do you need 3 distinct databases? I'm curious of your architecture. I should like ask you that on your stream. Will be way much easier to answer. Oh, by the way, I think I have something for that. Let me. How do you do that? Shout out. Do I have something for the shout out? Shout out. I think I put like that. No, it was not spelled like that. How do you spell Frank? Come on. Commands? No, it was not commands. Commands. There it is. I will show it so everybody just like me can remember. I've been a while, I didn't use the TBD Gamer is a streamer working on a library to he has like how many games do you have? Like so many games that he for fun he build for fun because it's useful, but you know sometimes the line is blur, but he built an application. Oh, SO. Frank, it was so easy. So SO, and then I'm guessing I'm doing with the at. Let's try that. So go follow him. He's doing a lot of cool tech. 1,000, yeah. And there's all physicals, right? TBD. Did you try the what was the game I was talking about? The uh, Dorf Dorf Romantic. Did you try that one? I know on your stream I mentioned that, but did you like it? You don't need to. It's okay if you don't. I really liked it. I'm big these days on digital games, so I don't have a lot of physical games. Yeah, it's cool, right? On your Stream Deck. Yeah, I have it on my. I like it. Initially, I think it was in the how do they call that? Early release, or I don't know, like if they start Kickstarter, but like on the early, I joined them on Steam. Love the game. As soon as it came out on Switch, I say, you know what? I will spend money again, and I'm buying it again. And I love playing that on my Switch. You're just like on the couch, just like relax. So really, really cool. You know what? I want to make them a little. So that's the game. No sound, please. Cool. So like you have a pile of stack here, like in the corner, and you place them one by one, and you just build slowly. It's super relaxing. The music, and like you try to, like you have see here. There's that little house with the 7. Plus, it means you need to have at least more than 7 little house in that agglomeration to achieve kind of a not a side quest but a goal. And also each time you put the tile, if all the sides of the tile, the more all sides of the tiles are matching the other ones around, it gives you more points, and with points the stack will go up. So then like you could just like have more and more stack and like have a bigger map, if I would say. And then like you unlock different tiles, so like you have trains, you have like a bunch of stuff. It's really cool. It's really relaxed. I really like that. Not at all. Like I do that all the time, no worries. Okay, so I have .NET 7, so that's cool. That was one thing I was not sure. And how do you make that's interesting. Oh, he doesn't even use. Okay, interesting. Let's go with the dock. The dock. Yeah. I'm using Visual Studio Code. So it's web. Okay. Web was identified as ASP.NET Core empty. Okay. Well. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's take this thing and we'll add it to the show notes, and at the same time I will share with you. So note, whoops, that's capitals. Note. Minimal web API. Boom. So this way, and I'm doing that because I had the page open at the beginning, but like I was saying, CB is collecting a bunch of information when I stream, and then I publish this on like behind my cloud. Yips. Come on, refresh, so I could copy paste the link. There it is. Publish the notes, and like you have like I archive them on YouTube, so you could watch it again. Like all the projects, so like the URLs, the to-dos, the time logs, game result. This time it was not working, but usually you have the score and the notes. So when there's like interesting stuff, I put it there. So like, it's good for me, it's good for you. And there, like all the projects I works, they're all there. So for example, like I did a lot of streams about URL shortener. So like a tool to shorter any URL. So there you have it. And you have like all the stream I did like based on that. So you can find that. It's behind my cloud because I have, like, it's always about cloud here. Well, always, not today. Okay, so we want to build it, and oh, interesting. So here, okay, so that's a quick reference. No, I wanted the tutorial. So we want to do the, where was it? .NET New Web, and specify the output. The -o is for output. For us now, since I think I'm already in the folder, right? If I go back here, if I clear my screen, so, oh no, like I'm not, oh, but we made the learning, yeah, okay, so let's go in learning. So now what we'll do is .NET New Web, but I don't want to specify the output. I could specify the output and specify like here, so I could do -o and then like here, right? But I want to specify the name. So -n, and the name will be learning. Cool, so now if I do this, we have app setting, we have our project, we have program, and in properties, there's a few things there that will be cool. We'll look, and that's one thing that confused me a little bit. That is, like, it's cool. I understand the big picture, but then like when we go into greedy details, that's where one part that I'm confused. Oh, I didn't specify in the title. Another thing that I need to practice, so you will see me struggling a lot with that today, is the lambda. In minimal API, lambda expressions are used a lot, and I'm not great with those things. So yeah, this is me being very humble. I show that I'm really bad at many things. Cool. Oh, one thing we could try to do. Should I do that? We can try. Let's say if I do nvim dot should go here, and now I can go here. That's a problem, but yeah, it's not working properly. So I think I will go out. I need, like, I was looking forward to use NeoVim just for fun, but I didn't finish to install oh, it's called again, OmniSharp, and a few things. So I think we'll go out for now, and instead we'll call code. Yeah, sure, build stuff. And now we could use this terminal. So now if we do .NET run, we'll build, right? And if we click here, obviously it opens the bad one, but let's say hello world. Excellent. Let's close this one since we don't need it. We'll stop this. So now we have our first thing. So let's say hello cloudies. So we know it's ours, right? And yeah, so like this part here, if I do this, boom, this part here, like when you had parameters and when you want to call like a class or something, that's the part that I'm not that strong, but we'll learn, right? We're here for that. Okay, and now I mentioned that there's that file here. launch settings, and what it says is you have multiple profile or launch settings, in fact. And so you have one that is IIS, and then you have one that is HD. Oh, like I should go like, oh, that's interesting. But, oh yeah, it's true. I need to fix that. I'm sorry. Boom, boom. There it is. And center. Let's do that again. And right. There it is. So I could go here. So I'm not hiding anything important. And go back here. I'm using a 2PC setup. If you wonder like why I'm looking over there and like why I'm looking here and like typing there and like messing around with my mouse. So I have my Linux laptop here. That's what I use. That's what we're using right now. And my tower, like the stream PC, is a Windows one. Am I the best in Linux? No, but I like to learn it, so I said, you know what, my laptop will be Linux. Okay, so here we have multiple settings. So with HTTP, the port was 5035, and I think when we have it here, it was here 5035 with HTTP. HTTPS because I didn't have any certificate, it was not available, and that's cool right now because it was not like on Windows it's super easy to add a certificate, but on Linux it was a little bit more complex, and I didn't do it yet. And if we have HTTPS, then there's two ports. So like you have still the 5035 for HTTP, but then you have the 7138 if you're using, sorry, HTTPS. So now what I want to do, let's save this. Now if we go back to our tutorial, blah, 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 examine the code, program containing, yeah, exactly what it contains. Create, what? The preceding code, create a web application builder, yep, and a web application with pre-configured default, okay, create a HTTP GET at the root. So here, so if we want to have like a special one, oh, so we could, you know what? If we do instead, oh, let's do that. Let's do this and say FR, and we'll say bonjour, hi, since I like to do that. Bonjour, hi, right? And it sounds just like this. Bonjour, hi. So now if we run that, so we map the root to say hello cloudies and the /fr to say bonjour, hi. So now if I .NET run this, and I want to open this here, nope. I just want it to open there. There it is. Okay, cool. Interesting. Oh, because it's shut down. Okay, now it's running. So hello cloudies, right? And if I type /fr, then bonjour, hi. It's working. Okay. Basic stuff, right? That's fine. Well, I'm progressing. That's how I like to learn. Baby steps. So we learn. Cool. So now, here they say like to do that, but if I try to do this in Linux, it won't work. So the preceding command doesn't work on Linux. See your Linux distribution commentary to trust certificate. I won't do that right now, I think. So now it says to add a NuGet package because what? It will make us save some stuff. I don't think I want to do that. NuGet package, the model and the database context. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm fine with just the texting. So add API code. So see like that thing where like they have like an async and then they pass a property and they call that. What if I don't want to code there? I want to have like something else elsewhere. Like that's the part that confused me sometimes when I'm writing those. Like to be clean. Like that's good. Like if you have an object, then you can call it. I guess I could do that. And stay clean. Okay, so okay. So one thing now I would like to do is making it like putting that in a container. Like I want to keep it simple. And this is to complexify the app. I feel like we'll keep our app simple, we'll containerize it, and then we come back and add post stuff and things like that. So I feel like to do one now is kind of done, and we should pass to the second one. What do you think? I think I will do that. So we'll do to do done one, to do start two, and I will say time put it, should have been said put it in a container. Okay, so now I have this tutorial here that is what I found Googling. So running ASP.NET Minimal API with Docker, and I will so create an API. So same thing for us, right? He's doing this. He's having fun with Amazon. That's fine. We shouldn't care. But like he's doing this, but I feel that's because I'm in .NET 7. He's not in .NET 6. That you need to specify that. And then is building his Docker file. We could do that by changing the SDK, right? But, oh, I could make it a little bit bigger. But what I did yesterday, and maybe that's why I was not working, but what I did was you know, you have a Docker extension, and you could do, hey, I want to do, oh, maybe I don't have it installed. Docker, compose, attach, inspect, Docker file. So you could add a Docker file to your workspace. And I feel that didn't work, but so I think I will try again, and because that generated Docker file was a bit more complex, so we'll do that. See, now I think I want .NET, I think I want ASP.NET Core. We're on Linux. The port is the good one, right? Or we can change it after anyway. So what the port does your app listening on? Should I put 80? Let's put 82. Do you want an optional Docker compose file? Yeah, why not? Okay, so that's our Docker, like our Docker file. It's a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more complex, as I was saying. Sounds effects, sounds effects. Okay, so if I understand correctly, okay, so I will read as I'm not an expert in Docker. I flirt with Docker. Can I say that? I'm saying it, like I mess around. I don't have to be dangerous, and I think today I'm very dangerous. Not because I know a lot, because I don't know a lot. So we'll create, it's a, how they call that, multi-stage build, right? So from that image, Microsoft.NET ASP.NET Core 7 as base, so we'll give it a name, so that is a base. And here .NET ASP.NET 7, if we look, the tutorial was using the same, but .NET SDK, ASP.NET. Oh yeah, but that like e-build, so we have a base here. I think that's good. That's our run environment, right? So I think we'll be good with that. And then you set the working directory to app, because we'll have an app, and then we're exposing those two ports. The ports that the app is running right now, and 80 just because before it was not working when I had only that one. So it's my mind, my spider sense that could be totally wrong says, Frank, maybe you should expose the port 80. That is HTTP, by the way. And then it says environment, ASP.NET Core URLs, and this. So it should generate this as a port. And that's a new thing in .NET 7, I think. Maybe wrong. But looking into this a little bit more, I think in like close to the end, when they go and they have like different ports and stuff like that, they explain a little bit more about that thing. So I think right now we're good with those things, okay? So that's set kind of the minimal layer as a layer. Then we have build. So from that image, so the same image that other on the tutorial, the blog post it's using, but instead of 6 it's 7, and we identify that as build. So it's a SDK, there's way more, like all the developer tools are there, right? So we don't want to publish that, but it's useful to build the app. The working directory is source, and then they copy the project into that. So into that, like the dot, because we are in the working directory, we are in source. So then we run .NET restore, and like this is my project. So that's great. And we copy that. I'm not sure I understand. Like copy ... So we copy the folder, but where? I'm not sure. Anyway. So that's the part, like I'm like confused a little bit. Is he doing that? Okay, he's doing that here, but no, here, oh, like he's doing the same here. I need a space in between. Maybe that was the problem. We'll leave it there. We'll try it once. If it's not working, we'll start messing around. If it doesn't work, I will fall back with whatever sort of like the blog post says. But I'm like, it should be good. Like that's an extension. So like it's probably me not understanding how it should be done. Or maybe Minimal API is very young and .NET 7 is also young. So maybe the two of those in that tool are not yet supported. But I feel they are, and it's probably my fault, but it will go. So then it changed the working directory to be this. What's the difference between that and that? and it do the build, and as a release, and the output is app build. Here it was publish and the output. So it was just out, sorry, and here we're going app build. Okay. And now from build, so from this image as publish, run .NET publish. Oh my god, I'm confused. So this thing again, release, the output is app publish. I have no idea what this is. The ports. Like /p, is it because it's part of, like, what? It's a parameter for what? Is it the parameter for the publish? I think if it was a parameter for publish, it will be dash, but now it's slash. So I'm confused. What is this? I'm opening it in private because I'm like, I need my Microsoft account. My account, GitHub account, is attached to my Microsoft account. So consider disabling engineering Docker files. So run this. So it is. So the Docker file generated by Visual Studio include the following: .NET publish, blah 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 blah. At the end, the output, web application, execute, blah, blah, blah. Library, output. File execute can be execute directory. Write the DLL required for use.NET. Okay. For the management, it seems wasteful to include both file in the output. Okay. Okay. So it's to save space. It's fine. I like that. Okay. And as final, so from the base, it just copy in the app. It just copy from publish in the app publish. And the entry point is .NET Learning. So look like it should be working, right? So let's give it a try. So now if I do Docker run, Docker build, I'm assuming I need to give it a name, even if can I run just like, hey, just do it. Learning, and we'll do 1.0. And we need to specify that little final dot here. So Docker build, we specify the name, the semicolon is for the version, and dot is for take the code from here. So if we do this, it will create an image, downloading the SDK, downloading ASP.NET, right? All those layers, packaging our app. Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look if we can understand what's happening when it starts executing stuff. So download the image, cool, work directory, blank, run.NET learn, running, determine the project, working, removing container, .NET bling. I didn't see any errors like build succeed. Cool. feel like that's good. Like, is it the inspect, Docker inspect, where you could go in the container? Anyone know? I think it's Docker inspect when you can like about does the instance needs to run. Let's run it. So let's do a Docker run, then do a learning 1.0. I didn't specify any ports. Oh. Yeah, yeah, open. So if I do instead localhost, HTTP so it's not working. And if I go in my terminal, I do docker ps, but it's running on the port 80. Interesting. Oh no, that's portainer. It's running on both. What do you say? If you have Docker for Windows dashboard, you can always see the container running. No, I don't have the, like I'm on Linux right now. I'm on Ubuntu DBD. But I have portainer, so with portainers I could also see the stuff. Like I'm just curious to see where the things are, but I can try to go with the port 80. But that's the normal port. I don't need to specify port 80. Okay, so it doesn't work. So why doesn't it work? Should I map a port? Should I do like P and then do something like 80 to what was it? 5035? And I'm always confused which side is which. I feel it should be the other way around. Maybe it should be like something like that. Let's give it a try. It was that thing didn't work either on my side, by the way. So like here, if I remove, still not working. Okay, you know what? Let's run it by default, so no port. And what we can do is use portainer. Yep. Oh, I didn't set portainer. I don't want to set it online with you. Sorry about that. Though, could I? Do I have the portainer stuff? Let me check. No, apparently I don't. No, let's not do this. There's like a... What, do you want to share your password with us? Would love to be able to do that, sir. So if it's like I wanna connect. So how do you connect to? If it's running, can I connect into it? Can I do like Docker login? How do you connect to SSH? Ah, I could. Okay, so like I don't need to have it. So I could stop that one. And I could do a Docker exec. And then I need to, no, Docker run, Docker, what was it? I could have Docker run and attach. Could do this, right? But I don't want to do it here because it's Visual Studio Code. So I want to do Docker exec IT for interactive and then shell. Okay, so let's bring back our terminal like this. We'll clean the stuff and we'll do a Docker. Is it too small? Docker exec and then minus IT learning dot 1.0 and sh. What? No such container. What? Yeah, learning. Oh, but it's just learning? There's no tag. Interesting. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's clear and let's do this. No. What I'm doing wrong. Docker run? Can I do Docker run? Why? Why I don't understand. I do a Docker run. Okay. Oh, I need to have a Frank. Okay. I need to do first the Docker run. So Docker run. Okay, because then I run the command to connect. Okay, so Docker run. Oh, so that's why having it running here was interesting. So if I do this, but I didn't name it though. So now if I do docker ps, okay, the name is still this. So now I could do this. Nope. Oh, okay. What I'm doing wrong. Docker ps. It's there, right? Hey, Jay. Use the container ID? Well, okay, I thought I would be able to... Do you know why I cannot use the name? No, it's A111. A111. Okay, cool. So now I'm in, and the app is there. So why? If I do cat the web.config, okay. App settings, maybe. Cat the app. Nope, where I am. So the code is there. So it's not... I'm confused. The name of the container is the last field. Oh. Okay, that was the image, and the name was this here. Okay. Yeah, what? Okay. Oh, yeah, because I didn't name it. Yeah, so it's here. It was like this strange name. Okay. My bad. You're right. Cool. Now, maybe you know, Jaden. Maybe you can help me, because right now I'm having not such a great time with Docker. Well, we're here to learn. So I'm running this app right now. It was working before we containerized it. Why music stop? Okay, it was temporary. And then when it's in a container and it's not working. And I'm not sure why. I don't know what happened. Just was it, oh, maybe it was on YouTube. So maybe I need to... I don't know what I need to do. So maybe it is on the port. See here, Docker build, and then you say, okay, you should control, so Docker run. Oh, he's giving a name, I forgot. And then he's doing that thing here where like 5080. And this thing was running on 80. So I'm wondering, when I run here, if I control C this, when I do my command, let's clear that. When I do my command here, this, I could give it a name, right? I'm assuming -n will work. Let's call that learning, so we can use that. So docker run, blah, 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 name is learning, and then the port, let's do, what was it again? 5035. We tried that before, right? Whoops. So if I do this, bing, bing. Yeah, you want to see the Docker file? We'll show you in a second. It's not working. Okay. Let's have a look to the file. So Docker file. This is a Docker file. So the thing that's probably wrong, is it big enough? It's a multi-thing. It was generated with the Docker extension of Visual Studio Code. So we have like the from with the base, exposing those two ports, and we have this thing to I feel do whatever URL it is plus the port. Then we build the app, and that's the part I was not sure, but it's there. So like the code is there. So I feel like this is the problem. You see anything that jumps to your eyes, Jay? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Happy to have you on board. Is the app running inside a container? Is your app running inside the container? Well, it should. How do I like, that's what I'm trying to test. Right now I stopped it, so it's not working anymore. But that was what we showed before. It was the command was .NET learning DLL, and it was port. But like, why it's TCP? Shouldn't it be HTTP? Why it's TCP? Like in .NET, this should work, right? If I do the same commands here, so if I bring back the terminal here, and let's do, let's run those commands. So let's do, oh, because, what? Unable to create the access path. App is denied. Oh, because it was trying to go to the root. So here I have my my DLL. So now if I do .net and then publish learning.dll, if I do, yeah, just that, right? So it's 5,000. Interesting. So then if I do this, which one is the inside and outside? I'm always confused though. Let's try that. So now if I do this, nope. Nope. Was it the other way around? You need to Docker run image p host port container port. So host, yeah. That's what I was trying to do here, right? But like if I expose those two, but the problem was, so, oh man. So what's the port the app is running on the container? Well, I thought like just running like the .NET. Where? No. Okay. Just running the .NET config right here, like by doing the .NET, where is it? Here, the command .NET and then run the DLL, the executable, right? It was running on port 5000, right? When we ran this, and that is the command that is called from inside the container, right? It was on the port 5000. So I'm guessing my build command, my Docker file, instead of like going for the port 5 whatever, should be 5000. So here I should expose 5000 instead. Right? Now if I clear that, yeah, but now I need to build it again, right? So did I save my Docker file? Yes. So now I need to do a Docker build. Where was it? Yeah. Smell like, how cold is it outside? Give me 1 second. It smells like smoke. I smell smoke, so I'm worried. Maybe just something like that. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm sorry. It's nothing. It's just my kid. She put the fire in the couch. No problem. No, I'm missing out. I didn't say anything. Okay. Okay, so now we need to build again. I feel like it's maybe just my heat system. I don't know, though it's not that cold outside. I will need to investigate a little bit more, but there was nothing. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Docker build and do this. We'll keep the version 1. You shouldn't need to build, but I did change. So Jay, I did change the port here to expose 5000. So now I'm doing this Docker run, and I'm specifying the port. So it should be 5000. Okay, so now if I go here and I say 5000 and I refresh, it doesn't work. Why? Damn it. I mean, why? So, right, so if I look here and I do again that Docker PS thing, so I have this image. So see Docker blah blah blah, that's what I was running, though there's like a dot dot dot, but and it's 80 and 5000. Oh, apparently name, you need to have dash dash name, not just dash name. Maybe could that screw up my port thing? Let's do this. Let's move here, stop that, repeat, and instead of having this, let's do dash name. So now if I clear and I do Docker PS, still didn't give it a name. Why it's not giving it a name? So I'm guessing it should be a different place. Docker run, my image, the name of my container, and then the port. Docker run, image, IT for interactive for, in this case, the name and the port. Oh, I have dash dash p? I did only dash p, but though the port are working. Well, I mean, they're not, but let's do dash dash p. And why name didn't follow? Docker PS. I should have just do up. Still, it doesn't listen to my. Try reload your web page. HTTP column bing bing localhost semicolon 5,000. Maybe we can try this, but that's because he was mapping it in the app here. Yeah. I know it's small though. Like I can make it bigger. It's just like when it's bigger, like it wraps by itself on itself. I feel like that doesn't help to see. Learning is exposing 80 and 5,000, but not publishing. Well, before, to be honest, it was this port. You know, when, like, I don't know when you join Brainless Society. Uh, when I did like the new app, it assigned us this port. So when we run the .NET run, it runs on this port. I used the extension to create the Docker file, and it created that huge Docker file here with like a is it multi-stage? How you call that? Like when there's like the base and the build, and then like final little. I said 1 second before the cool. So the recap is good, and sometimes the recap will help me. So I'm using .NET 7. I'm following it tutorial for .NET 6. So there's some difference, and in his code. So here, if I close all that, my code here, I'm just like running this. Super basic, right? Very, very basic. So I'm not specifying any port here because it's specified in my launch setting, and in development it should be when I'm HTTP in development it should be this. I'm guessing that's big. Can barely see one, but I'm guessing when it's in production I don't have anything, so it will be back on port 80 or 5,000. I don't know. I can run your command. Let's try what Jay was suggesting. The Docker run common. Oh, I need to okay, so now if I go again here, oh, yay! Why it's working, I don't know. The thing is that the expose for internal communication in the container yeah, the RM is useful. Okay, so now, and if I put like the -fr, we have bonjour. So that part is working. Okay. Okay. Still confused, but fine. Because you push the port with -p. The order was wrong. Okay, that's what I thought. Honestly, I was like, feel wrong, and that's why I was starting to mess around. So now if I do this, what was it again? It was, yeah, Docker run. Let's, if I can I do Docker run? So can I do this and then this learning and then do learning 1.0, right? Let me make it bigger. So I wanna use Docker run. So Docker run, I'm specifying the port. We're still running, like we didn't rebuild the container. So I know in the Docker file it says 5032, but we're still in that previous version, so we didn't recompile. So it's 5000, and then I want to specify the name, and then I'm calling the container. Publishing the port is like creating a symbolic link on your local port to a container port. Oh my god, doesn't help. Brain Society. It doesn't hide. Okay, so I need to have like the dash name. Meanwhile, let's do this. Why cannot give it a name? The response for demo driver fail. External connectivity to endpoint. What? Oh, because this is still running? Okay, shut down. Oh, I could be able to run it here, right? No. Okay, so now I have this. I'm running my new command. The name learning already exists. What the hell? Oh wow, so many containers. Oh, a minute ago. Oh, you know what? Let's do a Docker RM and then 47C7. 47C7. Cool. So now we'll be able to run again this. And now will it work? Will it work? Sorry. Yes. So it was just the order of the, oh man, no, this is bad. It was just the order of my command, of the argument. But well, we learn. I need to ask Jeff, and now we learn, and now we know. Sounds. Oh, exit your other container. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Oh my god, Docker Container prune. Yeah, but prune, like, delete everything that I'm not using, right? And I'm using a lot of containers for, like, all those ones here. Those are Visual Studio container. and they're long to build, like our dev environment. But yeah, I should delete a few, like here, like there's definitely a few that I could delete. Oh my god, no. Well, I will probably I need to configure Portainer. I didn't want to do it on this stream because like I need to enter a password and save it and blah blah blah. So I didn't do it because too many eyes. But yeah, like I used to clean that with the UI. It's easier here. Like I would do like, hey, just queue those container ID. But like I said, like all those strange ugly name, those are dev environment, and I really like that because then I can work on different machine, and I know I have the same version of .NET and the tools and everything. Because like this is a Linux machine, but then I have also a Windows machine. I have my work PC. On the work PC, like not everything is like I have different. Sometimes I have like beta version or like not like so like the dev environment, I love it in the container. I don't know if you're using it, but yeah. Okay, so I saw a coworker, cool. The image will not be removed, just the container. The long part is building the image. Brainless Society, you're talking about this? But that's the dev container. The dev container is like pulling the stuff, installing, like that's long, right? You think if I delete that and then like reopen my dev environment, it will be fast? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm at like okay, so that's working. Yay! So now that's cool. So now we know. I really need that thing. Did anybody land today? Okay. What else was he doing? Like tests. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm done with this guy. Oh man. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Frank. Let's do this. I learned. Yeah, I learned. Excellent. 63. So like you can try this command in chat. Exclamation point drop. And if you land CB that you just saw or CloudBot, will keep the score and it will stay forever in the archive. One thing I want to do is take this command here, make a copy and put that in the notes. Hey, Fuel Sambel, how are you? Welcome. It's been a while. I would have to test just for darker perspective if you. Yeah, but like the dev container, like there's the script and everything that is run after you got the image. So I understand what you're saying. Like, so when you grab the image, that one, once it's done, it's done. But then I feel like that's a dev environment, and then like it brings the code and like do a bunch of stuff. There's a script, and I feel that part will be executed each time the container is kind of set. But yeah, otherwise I really love the dev containers. It's just like the first time you're running it, sometimes it could be long, depending. And also it depends on the machine. I feel like even if it's a tiny little laptop, it's super fast compared to my Windows machine. I am the brain of the brainless. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so we learn. We learn. I'm happy. Okay, so now we have that. And surely, what? How can I? What? Hey, look at the time. Be kind. Rewind. You want me to restart the stream again? No. I won't do it. I won't do it. No, no, no. Welcome, sir. How are you? So the goal of today was learning stuff. Like I want to refact the reading notes, and I want to use minimal API. I want to put those in a container, and I will have a bunch of different containers. So I need Dapr. So I need to learn a bit more about Dapr. Dapr, if you like me and you maybe heard of that and you're not sure what it means, I'm talking about this one. So it helps to communicate between apps. So what I want to do is having that, and then I will have that in an Azure container application. So I'll have multiple containers. And in fact, I want to kind of do my own little proxy. So I'll have one container that will be a facade or something like that, and it will redirect to the others different calls. So we'll have like one front, and then, no, I could have different port, but I thought having a facade could be a good idea. Maybe I don't need that. That's one thing I need to try. Dapr. Yeah, the dial. Oh yeah, you did a PR. That's cool. It got that's Trill, huh? When you like your doc PR got like that's cool. Oh, so if I need help, I know who to ping. That's excellent. You shouldn't have tell me that. No, like I did a little proof of concept where it was working. Can I show you? Yeah, let's go. I was trying to do stuff yesterday with some, chilling. It's a friendly stream, so I won't say, but I was not drinking water and I was like listening to music and chilling, like, having fun. So, and I was tired though, but like I wanted to kind of mess around with that. So, like, kind of the same thing we did today, but in that front API, if I show you the code here, so now I know the command was probably long. So what I did is I'm using Dapr. I don't know how to pronounce that. Why you do that sometimes? It's annoying. And then if you were doing the, sorry, it's small, but make it bigger. So if you do the root, it was saying hello world, and if you do bonjour, so same idea of like today, instead of fr it was bonjour, then it was calling the other app. So if I was running the two app locally, it was perfectly working. See, it's like it's calling that other app called front secret, and I was deploying those and it was working. And I was like, okay, now I want to do that, but in container. And so I was trying to learn that. I was also trying to learn, hey, locally, how can I start a bunch of containers? And I was not sure how to do that. Like, I don't have Kubernetes. I think I don't want to learn it. Kubernetes feel a lot infrastructure for me, and I don't like that too much. I have more a dev database background, so Kubernetes has, I know it's great tool and everything. Like, I'm not saying it's not great. I'm just saying, like, I need to focus on some tech, and I feel like if I can avoid learning Kubernetes, I will be happy. Don't, so I want to stay friends. But yeah, so that was the thing. And if we go back in the code, so like in the other one, I need to go back one more. I should do this instead. It will be faster to show the code. Brainless says, I'm currently procrastinating while I should be migrating an old microservices Docker file to a M1 compatible one. Ooh, M1, yeah, that's yeah. Like though, like I heard there's like big difference. Like I don't know what's the impact on like making some migration. I didn't try that. Another page number was wrong. Docker Compose. Okay, so I did one Docker Compose and I did that. So you see if I Docker Hub, right, for Docker Compose. So if I'm in that folder and I Docker Hub, it should start the two app. Though Dapr won't be started. And I need to start them with Dapr, I think. And I think for the like there's a debug one. Oh, interesting. I see. So here I was like listing all the commands, and I now have like on like when you start the Dapr, you need to do like the Dapr CLI. Oh, I don't even know if I have it on this machine because I was on another machine. So the thing I want to show you was this and this one here, which is like just like at the root. Yeah, so that was my intention to do with my reading notes, but maybe if I have, I don't know, with Docker app, if I specify the port, could I have, no, like it will be confusing, and that's what I want to like not have, right? If I want to do call, you know, if I want to call like container A method 1, then I'll just want to do method 1 and it call, or like container A method 1. I don't want to do like, oh yeah, container A is the port 5252, and then if I want to call container 2, I want to go and say, hey, I want to type like go with container names, or like so it's logic more than numbers. So I feel like that's why I want to have some kind of a, I call that a facade. I'm not sure if it's a facade, but like I will have one that will do that, like the remapping kind of thing, where I will say, okay, like, hey, if you call this, that I know you're calling that one, and like passing the parameter. So the point of today was like, and now like I'm just explaining what I want to do instead, like because you look all very savvy today, um, and for me it's new. So Dapr was new, like the minimal API was kind of my first yesterday. I start messing around with that. Container app, I now have one running, but it's very simple. It was an existing container, and I'm calling it from a logic app, and it's running cool. Okay, so I could change files. But now I know how to make containers, so my next step will take this, make it run it locally. So I guess I will have to run the Dapr command manually, run the containers, and then see if it works. If that works, then it will try to deploy that in Azure. That will be fun. And now, like in the Azure Container Instance, then I need the configuration file, or maybe I will use a bicep if I do that with ARM biceps. If I do that, I will need to learn the little snippets. Let's go to the chat. So Docker Compose, So yeah, MV1 are causing trouble, as most of my company Docker file old. Oh yeah. Jesse's dependencies. Okay. Nginx for reverse proxy. Yeah, I could use Nginx, but you know, like just doing that will works too, right? because like if I do that, the facade will still have some logic, but then like if you have like okay, so it's for my reading notes project. I explained that a little bit at the beginning, but if I recap, so I will have like a container called reading notes, and it will contain all the like really reading notes stuff, like the core things. But then let's say it needs to convert a file from Kindle because I'm using Kindle in my reading notes, then that thing is using another thing, and it's another container because it's not in .NET, it's in JavaScript because it was done by another company. So that's why it will be running in another container. Then I will be able to say, hey, you know, maybe here will be Kindle or something like that, and then slash, I don't know. And then like if you do that, then I will call the container. So I feel like that's why having this will be better. If I have like a facade, I could do Nginx, though it will be another thing to learn. But and then I feel like having that, you know, why should I do Nginx when I have this? There's a project also I could, what's again? .NET is doing a reverse proxy. I forgot how it's called. YARP, I think. Yeah. Did you heard of that? YARP? It's open source. So I could be using that too. You want to call an endpoint while doing a deploy? No. Not sure what you're talking about, sir. Sorry, Dev. I will have an app. Like in my Azure Container App, I will have like 3 different containers. One will be my pandoc. So that's a tool that is pre-built. So I'm taking that image and it's converting text file. So that's one. I have another one that is part of repository and where is it? It's here. It's the pushlight parser. So that one is in JavaScript. So that's why it will be in his own container. So now we have 2 containers. So we have the pandoc, we have the one in JavaScript, and then we'll have all the things I need in .NET. So I feel like that one will be called, like right now I'm calling it .NET reading notes tool. So that will be reading notes tool, and if I need to talk to someone else, I will just like use Dapr to communicate with those two, and I will probably use a logic app to call the catch and kind of orchestrate that. Or maybe if you have a very simple way to send email to C#, but I feel like doing the files and saving the file, it's so easy with logic app that I will keep it that way. Okay, where I am, brainless society. Like if you create a Docker compose, let's say with 2 services, an Nginx, and you can configure Nginx to point some root to container A port X and another container B port Y. Use Nginx as your entry point to the app. Yeah, but then Nginx will be in a container, right? So it's just a facade. It's just like a reverse proxy. But then like I could do that straight into one service. Let's say, oh, like, you know, like go see those 2. Could you use CURL from command script bash file and pick up error level to determine if it's been run successfully? Yet another. Oh, you're talking about YARP? Yeah. But that one is in .NET, right? So, and look like they have very good performance and stuff, and they're really I spoke with the engineer or PM of that project, and yeah, they're really into it. I think it will be good. And this one, ignore that message. What? Discard my last message. Ignore that. Okay, sir. Oh my god. Oh, it's Microsoft. Maybe not. Hey, check it out. Open source is really, really important. Like, in fact, I'm doing a new show at Microsoft. I work at Microsoft. I'm doing a new show called Open at Microsoft. I will start at the end of the month. So 31 of January will be a first show. Yeah, like by default, all projects are open source at Microsoft. So this is an open source project, and Shirley Dev was mentioning that he did a PR that was accepted. So it is really open source. It's just like showing the code and just like doing their own stuff. Like they are serious about it. I see the time is flying, and I have a meeting soon. So let's go here. Is anybody streaming that it could be interesting seeing if I go Twitch? Oh, White Panther. It's been a while since I raid White Panther. Let's go White Panther. Unable to raid. Oh, she doesn't want to raid. Attention, you need to stop scheduling meeting after stream. Yeah, it was not special, but my manager came back from parental leave, and it's like a meeting where we will just be chatting. So I'm really looking for that one. Look like why I don't I cannot see like Right Panther any. Dang it. Nah, she won't do that. It's all for us to chat all together. You know what? Like, what I will do, I will save the state of the stream. Save, and I will do a stop. And yeah, very happy. Thank you a lot for Brainless Society, Jay. Who else helped me today? So many of you. Sorry, Dev. As usual, forgot. Fuel, welcome for joining us. Jay, I mentioned it already. And at the early, we had, I forgot your name. TBD was there too. Hi, TBD. Thanks for joining and chatting with me at the beginning. And we had someone else asking question earlier. It was the Guy. Guy was there. So thank you all of it. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Well, say hello to White Panther. I cannot raid, but you should definitely have a look. She's amazing. I love her stuff. So have a look over there. We won't raid anyone. Have a good weekend. I hope you go outside a little bit, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. I need to close that, and I don't have the button. And this is complex. This is complex. Bye-bye.